Welcome, everybody. That's how you do it. You go, welcome, everybody, to another episode of the blah, blah, blah.
I mean, you could have easily said the name of the podcast. And
I'm starting it now.
Nope, I'm editing
Welcome,
this one.
everybody.
I call it, and that's how I want to start it. I want to start it on this fucking fumbling dummies. Like, he's making fun of me, but it's the best intro he's ever done in his life.
Am I making fun of you?
You were. This is how you do it.
And then
you
it
look
seemed condescending.
Does it
into
seem
the
like
camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people think I'm making fun of them when I'm just going like, this is our world. This is
here's the difference. It's because when people say that, people go, "Oh, Feeney's a cunt." You guys say that about me. For you, people think that you're this nice guy. You're much more of a cunt than I am.
I've also been spreading. Feeney, it's funny you say that because I've been doing everything in my power to spread the word that he's not who he portrays. Like all the time when I'm out at comedy clubs,
You're
and they're like,
campaigning?
"Cyclo is such a lovable guy, right? Like he's such a good guy." And I'm like, no, underneath, he's an insidious, bubbling piece
Angry.
just molten lava piece of shit.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of What's the Scenario with your hosts, me, Brendan Sagalow, Mike Feeney, and Mike Cannon. This is
Hello,
the podcast
everybody.
where we ask interesting questions and scenarios and what ifs, and then you get 3 straight white guy takes on it. Something that the world can never get sick of.
Yeah, it's just 3 guys that 2 of which grew up in Long Island and the other in Rockland. So I mean, even geographically, we're not that far off.
Yeah, you're just North Long Island, essentially.
Before we start with the questions, I ordered a Burger King today. I've been eating Burger King
buddy, you gotta not do that.
I know,
dude.
I know.
I was just saying
done with it
yesterday
today,
to Erica because they had a commercial about Burger King being like, we deliver, and I was thinking I was like, how much worse would this pandemic have to be for me to order Burger King? Order McDonald's is a way shorter threshold than that.
Right.
Order Wendy's up there. I'd do that if in like another week.
Wait, you think McDonald's is not as bad as Burger King?
Burger King is below. It's like almost only exists in rest stops now.
Burger King was good for like 2.5 years in the 90s. They were char grilling and they were using actual grilled chicken. It was like a well-run establishment. They gave a real shot at it, but then they realized they were spending far too much money to put out just kind of a B minus instead of a C.
Yeah, and now they are the worst. They are the worst franchise. You can't find it. Give me a worse fast food joint than
Subway,
White Castle.
Oh, White Castle! I take over Burger King 100 times.
I love White Castle, but it has never not made me shit. Like,
well, it's all the
blood.
Onions. It's they call it belly bombers. But Subway, you might have a point.
You mean you call it that?
No, everybody called it that. That was a big thing in Long Island. They go, "You want to get belly bombers?"
Brendan has never heard it once. He's from your neighbor.
No, he's not. He's from Rich 516.
And
that's the other thing about Brendan. Brendan, not only in his act claims, I'm trash. We grew up in a trailer, Mom, you know, but also he grew up in 516, which and Syosset is a.
You don't know anything about my life.
But Syosset is a great. I know everything about my life.
Great.
Here's Brendan's life. Brendan is the Papa Doc of white kids from Long Island.
Exactly.
Where he's dressing himself into being a tough street urchin. But he went to Cranbrook.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Brendan went to Cranbrook.
I'm not even going to.
Your dad's a lawyer.
Dude,
I mean,
it's so funny how right you are, Feedy, because he can't even say a sentence.
He's really is Papa Doc.
You don't know shit about me, dude. You don't know shit about my life. You don't know shit about how I came up. You don't know shit about me. And just because I'm in 516 and you're 631, I don't say shit about your stupid county or whatever. I don't give a fuck about 631.
This is your opportunity.
Yeah. What do you have to say about us?
That's spoken like a true coward that has nothing to say.
It's a 1%. It's a 1%er making fun of the 99%.
Here's a scenario. If you could kill 2 of your friends, who would they be? And it's you guys.
How would you do it?
Poison.
With what? Because you are the only predictable eater out of any of us. I'd put it in every 4th order at Burger King, and I'd have you within 8 hours.
We would we would go out to dinner, and then you'd go to the bathroom, and I'd sprinkle some fucking seeds of cherry or ricin.
Ricin?
In your fucking some ricin in your cup.
I want to know.
Oh my God. Have we ever said that Brendan dresses exactly like season 1 Jesse from Breaking Bad? He's heavy Jesse. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. This is what Jesse would actually look like if it was like a real.
Yeah.
You know, because like
if Hollywood wasn't such a fucking
Aaron Paul's
if Hollywood
like
wasn't
guy.
Such a shallow bitch, it would really be me up there.
Cruel mistress.
It would be male Lena Dunham.
So I order Burger King.
You order Burger King, so life's not going well.
And the guy, I order a Sprite with my meal, and the guy comes and he goes, "We didn't have any Sprite, so we got you high C Kool-Aid." And it's like, it just sucks. I hate Kool-Aid. I hate everything about it. And it's not the next.
Welcome to Burger King.
I feel like they did it on purpose to be like, well, we could give him Pepsi, which is the obvious next choice, but let's give him the worst fucking thing in the world.
So, Feeny, the best part about this, I do want to get back to the actual conversation, the point that Brendan's posing, but he had already worked this out on me when I first signed on to Zoom.
Oh, no.
You wouldn't believe this. I mean, that's your next step? Like, when he said that's your next step.
Yeah, that was definitely a laugh
Sprite,
line.
I was like, hey.
Laugh line?
Yeah, hey, Barry Bits, why don't you cut it out?
I tested it out on Twitter earlier. And,
yeah.
The response
Brendan
was fair.
with his 3-layer tweets where he's just clearly chunking bits and just putting them out for the world to see.
People like it.
I know, it's
really
great.
Well.
It's just funny, though, because people are eventually going to be like, oh, I recognize that from Twitter.
Yeah. People will catch on really quickly.
But obviously the next step is soda, not high C.
Yeah,
but that more or less speaks to how horseshit Burger King is.
And I also
Beanie's
get
frozen,
Burger King sometimes
when
I know that we're going to be recording because I like my Sprite with vodka. You know, I like putting Sprite in my vodka. So this is just crazy, but it does taste delicious.
Buddy, the fact that I was telling you that in my alcoholic heyday, I would go out and get Twist Ocean Spray fruit punch, like hardcore hood shit, probably 4 million grams of sugar in each fucking bottle. And I would get a bunch of airplane bottles of vodka, and I'd polish those off in AM.
My thing froze.
Yeah. I never told anybody.
Are you drinking that Kool-Aid thing with vodka right now? Is that what you're doing?
Oh. Yeah.
With no ice, though, which I find odd.
Yeah.
He hasn't had ice in any of the drinks he's been drinking over the last few nights, and it is troubling. I am
saving calories.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes room gives me more Pepsi room.
Yeah.
Gives me more room for
third Whopper.
King.
I love how you spend a full week without taste buds and you get them back and you decide to savor a morsel of Burger King on your tongue.
There's so many small businesses that make excellent burgers within a stone's throw of your apartment that are dying for the business.
They're testing in all fast food chains right now. They're testing robots flipping burgers.
Yeah.
I do have a gift card for Burger Bar that I've never used.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you use that?
I don't know. Because my ex's mom gave it to me, and I just can't bring myself. I just can't bring myself to do it.
If I use it, it's like I'm giving her away. All that's left to tether us.
That's my favorite. That's one of the best lines from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Is he's like, I can't get dressed. That means it's over.
All right, first question, and I think it's really funny. If your dog or cat suddenly spoke one sentence and then never spoke again, what would be the most unsettling sentence they could say? What do you think?
Oh, man.
Just any, it'd have to be like they'd look at you and go, kill me.
Yeah. That would be a really unsettling one if they looked at you with unblinking eyes and requested you take their life.
What if they just go, I see everything you do and it's troubling.
Well, yeah, that, all of us.
And then you go, what now?
Yeah.
All of us picture, I've seen you jerk off, right? But then it goes back to being a cat or whatever. I think I would react way more to like a menial thing, like, you're emotionally disconnected.
Yeah.
And it just fixes its hair with the front of its palm.
That's so funny. All right. Was that it? I think that was
he had nothing.
I said it.
What'd you say?
Yeah. I see everything you do, and it's troubling.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening, Brendan.
That was verbatim what you said, too.
Yeah,
and kind of how you said it.
Yeah. I put a little more juice into it, but.
Speaking of juice, Burger King.
Fun fact, Brendan got his order through bulletproof glass before they gave it to the delivery driver.
Do you know what I was just thinking Brendan's perfect drink would be? Is that drink, right? 0 ice, fruit punch vodka, and a half burger with a slit in it right at the end.
Yeah. Like a lime wedge?
Like a lime wedge.
And a fat stripper has to deliver it to you. If you could snap your fingers and make one species go extinct, which species would you choose?
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Oh, that's no, but they're responsible for like regulating so much shit. So you got to really
they're also
deregulate, bro. Let's deregulate.
But they're a type of species.
Right.
So I guess insect is what you're saying.
You just get rid of all insects. I'm telling you, man, we're not considering the butterfly effect here because that would rock our shit. Aren't they like
I don't want all
responsible
insects.
for?
I don't want all insects. I want just mosquitoes.
Yeah,
just
but it said
Mosquitocus eteriticus.
Isn't a mosquito a species?
Is it a species of insect?
Yes.
No,
we are painfully dumb. I mean, the people are expected to pay their hard-earned money for 3 retards saying, "Is mosquitoes a sect of insects?" Like we should be shot in the face.
Well, if that's not the case, then it really that's a really hard question.
Yeah, mosquitoes comprise a group of about 3,500 species of small insects that are.
Oh, okay.
flies.
So it's a type of bug.
It's like
all right.
Quadruple subcategory. Yeah. But I don't think that mosquitoes, while they provide maybe some, part in the universe and the ecosystem, think about how small those things are and how thin they are. They're not providing much nutrients. A couple thousand things might die, but we'll rebound. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine would be. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's hard to say anything besides a type of bug. I can't really think of any other creature I would want to be extinct
to harm
besides maybe humans. Am I right?
Mine would be comedy managers. That's it. All comedy managers just
one specifically.
No, they're way more than
two
one.
Specifically.
There's so many I can think of. They're all a bunch of fucking succubuses.
Patreon,
useless human beings that
is that a subspecies of person?
I'm creating it.
That's so funny.
Thank you, Brendan, for not laughing. But
I would say like wasps. Like wasp.
Dude, I got stung by a nest of wasps.
What? How?
When I was in 4th grade. I told Feeney that story when I first moved into that house. And I climbed the tree in my front yard, and I'm like, "Mom, Dad, this house is awesome!" And then there were like 3 buzz-bys my head that I heard, and all of a sudden I was just engulfed in a full fucking hornet's nest or wasp.
Oh
or
my
whatever
god,
the fuck.
that's crazy,
dude! The Jamaican guy working on my house heard me screaming. I'm 10 years old. He runs out. And he literally goes, "Jump, man, jump!" I just fucking leaped off of the tree into this guy's arms. He caught me, looked at him, got scared again, jumped out of his arms, ran around the house, and my mom looked at me like she's never seen me once in her life. She's like,
"Oh my god!"
Couldn't believe my face.
You were just like pimples and warts.
I remember this so vividly. I don't know if I said this on Irish Goodbye, but I remember this moment so vividly that my mom was like, "All right, Kevin, I think you got to take him to the hospital." And my dad was dragging his feet, probably just because he was being lazy. And he's like, "Do you really think we do?" And my mom goes, "Kevin, look at his fucking face!" And I was right next to her, and I was just like, "What's wrong with my face?" And I looked into the window of an armoire, and I was like, I looked like the guy at the beginning of The Rock that got hit by all that fucking chemical shit. And my skin was bubbling. It was insane.
Oh my god!
Did you start immediately crying?
Yeah, I mean, I was inconsolable. I was in the fucking hospital for like 9 hours just getting bags of whatever the EpiPen just shot into my dick.
Did it hurt at first, or do you even remember? Did it hurt at first, or
I felt every sting. And like,
my God.
They counted over 200 sting bites on my body. Like I think they gave up. They put their hands up after 200. And I swear on my life, I felt every single one.
You never went into this much detail on Irish Goodbye. And that's so funny because we are now tethered even closer as human beings, both surviving horrific like stinging stories. Because I have the jellyfish, the man-o-war jellyfish that fucking engulfed me. I jump in. We go. My uncle convinces me to go out on a boat with my mom. They're like, it's going to be so much fun. We go to Rodriguez Key. I'll never go there ever again.
So why wouldn't you get rid of jellyfish?
What?
You have a goddamn vendetta against jellyfish.
It's true. Yeah, because they just fucking. Because they just,
Where you're like, I hate you, but goddamn, do I respect you?
Yeah. Power means unstoppable force, immovable object. So we need each other. But no, man, that was then the jump in the water, and then the fucking my uncle's snorkel. He dove down to get like the shell of a lobster because I guess lobsters shed their whole shells or whatever. And then when he came back up, I started all of a sudden I was like, it felt like someone just literally pinched my skin, but while I was swimming. So I was like, what the hell is that? And then like a second later, I felt it like again, like lower on my body, and all of a sudden I started being like, it was like popcorn popping where you're like, ow, 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 and you're swimming. So you're like what the fuck's happening? And you're breathing through the. There's like that panic of that, and then.
Wait, were you scubaing or?
We were, no, snorkeling.
Oh, thank God. You would have gotten the bends if you were scubaing, dude. You would have fucking raced for the top and your lungs would have exploded.
Well, this was like, so my uncle comes up with the shell at the exact same time going like, look at this, look how cool. And he's swimming towards me and they look at me and I'm freaking out. And my parents think that, my mom and my uncle think that I'm just afraid of the lobster shell. They're like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And I'm over here being like, I'm like the end of Texas Chainsaw. You know what I mean? Like writhing in pain. And then
your dad
mom
turns to your mom and is like, "What's with this faggot? He hates lobster."
What a pussy!
That's why they broke up.
God.
So this is my dad and now you got me saying it. My uncle and my mom, but so then my mom gets towards me, and then this was like one of my fucking first bits ended up being from this whole thing, but my mom swam over to me and then went to like help me, but then she got stung on her hand just one time and went, what is that? Get the hell away from me, and pushed me away from her and swam back to the boat into open ocean.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we always laugh about it. I'll never forget that. What the hell is that? Get away from me. And just like pushed her only son.
She's like holding you down. Get away.
Just I'm crying.
How sick if in that moment just a whale breached and landed right into where she pushed you into.
That would be great.
I would have loved it because that pain the next fucking day was just like, it was like you said, but I had these dots all the way the fuck around. I still have one on my chest, but
whoa, really?
Yeah, it's like a light blue poison dot, and I had like all these bites, and then they poured vinegar, all this bullshit on me. I was just each thing looked like I got hit.
We're also joined by blue marks on our body because I have a blue mark right next to my nose from 10th grade German class. This kid Will Fitzgibbons punted a number 2 pencil at me, and it hit me in the face, right in the nose, and broke off on my face and left the point in my face.
Oh, I actually have
still there, Brendan.
I have like a permanent.
Get out of this.
To the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just talked about a kid punting a fucking sharpened pencil into my face, and you just jump into the next thing.
Well, I'm also blue.
I wanted to connect us all. We could do 7 degrees from Kevin Bacon or whatever.
6.
But 6. Well, I like to add another one. I have a permanent pencil thing right here.
Why would you do? You're carving fucking corn into your wrist.
Somebody stabbed me. I don't remember. I cut out a lot of.
You remember when someone used to go? You take the point of a pen and then you go on the wood desk and you go like really, really fast until like it's really hot, and then you could start making tattoos with the little burning yourselves of it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm doing that now.
I got stung by a wasp my first day of 6th grade. So it was like new school, and it was at homeroom, and I was late. So I showed up late, and everybody's like, the teacher's like, sit down, please. And the minute I sat down, there was a wasp crawling on my desk. So I sat down. I was like, ha, ha. In front of everybody.
I said, sit down.
So I'm just taking the pain. I'm like, it's like stabbing me.
What's the scenario, Brendan?
The scenario
Have we done one yet?
Yeah.
We've
the
done
insect
2.
one.
Oh, cool.
What would be the first few things you would try if you found out you were completely impervious to physical harm?
Oh, I would leap right off a building.
Yeah. Yeah, but you could still die.
What?
No, you said you couldn't feel any pain.
You can't feel any pain, but you can still die.
I would leap right off a building.
So you're telling me I could die my own way?
Painless? Yeah.
Painlessly?
Oh my God. I not only would I leap off a building, but I would time it to where somebody was walking by that I don't care for.
Dude, that happened to my sister's roommate. She was in college. She was walking down the street in Washington, and someone committed suicide right in front of her, jumped off of a building, landed right in front of her.
Like in The Departed?
Like right in The Departed, yeah. Crazy,
oh my
right?
God.
Is she in mental ward?
Therapy 24 hours a day?
I don't know. They kind of lost touch.
She started sending her menacing letters.
Yeah. When she lost her touch of reality, that we ended up growing apart.
Holy shit, that's awful. That happened at the Palisades Center Mall. Some guy or something like that fell or jumped off the 4th floor, and he just landed on a guy and ended up killing the other guy instead of himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like those people that remember the guy in Long Island. I knew people. I was talking about 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I was one removed from this kid that my friends
7.
knew this guy. It's not. It's just one in this situation, but he
6 or 7.
They got frozen turkeys from the supermarket and then went to the overpass and threw it over the thing on the highway, and it crashed through a woman's windshield and killed her. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then he went to prison. But I knew the people who knew him who were like watching. He would like took boxing classes and stuff before he went to jail to try to
that'll do it.
Learn technique.
He's taking Taibo before prison.
Well, that's what my answer was going to be. I would become a professional boxer. You know?
But you'd still get brain damage.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You don't
I'd be good at my thing.
But you don't feel it when you're getting, like every boxer says in fights, like the adrenaline is so much, it just feels like what was that? It's not till after the fight where you're like, ow, 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 ow.
Well, and also you got to think of something you're actually good at, because if you just don't feel pain, you're still your size and your agility. So you're not just going to hop into the ring being a numb.
Well, I've become good at it.
I think
I'm not just.
If I may.
So all of a sudden, yeah. So at your age, you're gonna become numb. You feel no pain. You step into the gym today, let's say. So let's pretend it's not night and you've already missed today. You step in the gym today. You become pro in how long?
A couple years.
Well, here's the thing. Brendan thinks this is the episode of The Simpsons where he rope-a-dopes against Mike Tyson or Jan Statham. He's gonna kill him, and then he just fucking is like he's just sitting there.
I would. I would say some shit to Mike Tyson and be like, "Let's go," and then have him hit me, and then be like, "I didn't feel it."
No, but you would still. That's the thing.
Your jaw would still be hanging off your body.
Not feeling it. Right, by your own rules. Like we were trying to also say you were impervious to death, and you'd basically you would, if you got hit as hard like with a hammer, you wouldn't.
That scenario sucks. Let's add the Wolverine element to it that will regenerate. I'm gonna go like T-1000 and take like a shotgun to half of my face and just let it grow back.
Oh man, if that's the option, then I'm becoming a weapon of war, dude. You're gonna
kill all those people.
Yeah. Well, if you
that was
can't
the most
feel pain,
thought out answer you've ever had in your entire life.
If you can't feel pain and you die, and you can't die, that's probably a miserable life to begin with. Right?
So why not be an instrument of death?
Yeah.
Yes. You say that sarcastically, but
no, I know. Well, that when Feeney said it that time, it convinced me I too would be an instrument of death. Like right when you said let's add the Wolverine element to it, all I pictured was me full sprint in the woods like Logan and just mauling a team of trained berets, like just cutting people's heads off, just excavating.
If you could have one X-Man power, who would it be? Because it's got to be Wolverine.
It's got to be Wolverine. If you have, I mean, I guess Mateo wants to be Storm. Storm is a pretty good one. That's an underrated one.
I like Pyro's power. You know him, Pyro?
Yeah.
He's one of the bad guys.
Yeah. He's the young teen that went with Magneto, right?
Yes. Yeah, but he's in the comics. He's this like cool Australian guy.
And he's the first boss in the arcade game, which is one of the best arcade games ever. He has
these flamethrowers on his hands, and he can control fire and stuff like that. I always thought that was really cool.
I do like burning things, but I would, because here's the thing: Wolverine helps you in instant defense, instant attack. Storm has got to like float in the air and be like, get her eyes all fucking white and shit, and then like cause a wind to start. You know, it's like every rain's got to start with one drop. You know what I mean? To be like, it's coming.
Yeah.
I promise. Just wait.
Yeah.
But it hurts every time. That's what he said in the X-Men movie.
Yeah,
it hurts every time it comes out.
But every time, I bet that coming through your knuckles prepares you for battle better than anything.
Yeah.
That second of pain and just how enraged you are, remembering the process that adamantium was just soldered onto your skeleton, you're just like, that's it. Everybody's getting chopped the fuck up.
I bet that feels kind of like good too. I bet like the pain feels good.
Right. That's exactly what I just said. Yes, you said it in a shorter way.
No, but I mean in like a sexual
Hey, Brendan,
way.
what's the scenario?
Well, that actually would be the worst part. Imagine jerking off and you accidentally eject your claws.
Oh,
that would suck.
Ugh. I mean, you'd get your dick back, I guess, because you regrow. But
you're not cutting your dick off because your claws come out that way.
You don't know
so
how
if you're
I jerk
jerking
off, dude. I go knuckle up the shit.
Knuckle on knuckle. Okay. How would you change how you acted if you knew 100% that the world was a simulation?
I mean, I'm pretty much almost there.
You think so?
I think. No. I don't know. Right? How much differently would you add? I feel like we live pretty. Really? How different?
Let's let Feeney answer because I'm a little confused about the question myself.
The one that you asked.
I told you. I just grabbed these questions.
It's a good vetting option. Make sure.
I read them. There's a lot that I skip. There's some that are like. There was one that I didn't add that was like, if your sheets were made out of deli meat, which deli meat would it be?
It's a great question.
Is that a great question?
Yeah.
Chorizo. It's dry.
No,
it's basically just
ham. It's like a waterbed almost. It's like a soft waterbed.
For your feet?
Sure. So sticky.
Yeah.
For your feet though, you gotta walk.
What?
If
you walk on your bed?
No, you. Oh, what is the question? I thought it was if you had feet in place of any deli meat, what would it be? I was like chorizo. Sheets. Oh, it's just how you slice it. Prosciutto, 100%. Then.
If your feet was made out of deli meats, what it would be?
I would be chorizo. It would be chorizo because it's hard, and it's like dried out, so you can walk better. I'm thinking about walking speed.
I think it might be turkey.
Turkey.
Because turkey's like it's tender enough, but it's also relatively dry. I was saying ham because I thought it would be fun to like slip and slide off your bed on a big flat slap of ham. But that also now is starting to gross me out thinking of it congealing. Same with roast beef, that would likely congeal. It might be
prosciutto ages well. Prosciutto doesn't get old. Turkey gets slimy after like 5 days.
Prosciutto gets hard.
That's fine.
No. I would do roast beef.
That's okay.
I don't know.
So we were in the middle of another question, though.
Yeah.
The simulation one.
Oh, yeah. So what would you do, Feeney?
I would act, of course you would act different. If you found out none of this matters, then it's like.
Well, none of it does matter, though.
But then you're like, well, no, but I'm talking about repercussions. You're like, walk around naked. Who cares? Smash the guitar over my head. Well, there aren't any
repercussions if you consider that after death is
but
nothing
hang on.
And nothing matters.
No, that's the only difference is there's still repercussions. The simulation is still functioning. So every time you break the law in the simulation, you're going to jail.
Yeah, but I'm in a video jail.
Just knowing. Having the information that we're being plugged in our consciousness is elsewhere, or our vessel is elsewhere while our consciousness is projected into this simulation. how would it really change your behavior? You'd just be like, all right, well, I guess I'll figure out what this is when I die, or maybe I won't.
I would try to.
I don't think you should. I think
leave it.
I don't think you can ever. People that say that they like believe that they are. I really don't think anybody actually like can fully believe it or process it. You know what I mean? Because if they did, they would break them. You know what I mean? If you really found out that this right here isn't happening, like, you could be like,
it ultimately isn't happening. This is just a blip in history. Like,
but that doesn't mean that this moment isn't real.
I mean, kind of.
No, it does. You're comparing it to all of time.
I'm starting to freak out, man.
Yeah, you're comparing it to all of time.
Maybe not that it's not real, but also if it's a simulation, it's still real. It's still a real moment.
No, but it's actually not real. That's the exact definition of simulation.
If you guys are playing video games, if you lose a video game, did that happen?
Whether it did or didn't, I didn't go to war, so it didn't happen. It's a simulation. Simulation is not real. It's fake by its very nature.
Right, but we'll eventually figure out, maybe or not. It still doesn't matter. None of it matters. Pain is still the same. Like, our consciousness is still operating on the exact same level. So we still feel pain. We still have emotion. Everything is exactly the same, except you don't have the heaven or hell belief, I guess.
It's not even heaven or hell. It's the fact that there's no free will. There's no.
Yes, there is free will. There's free will within the simulation.
But you were created by a simulation, so it doesn't. If it's a video game character, someone's controlling it.
But you weren't created by a simulation. You were still created within the simulation. Like, if there are rules, so a simulation is like there are rules within it where biologically we still can mate, and those people exist somewhere like that. But that's how you procreate and create people within the simulation. Those people obviously are either grown or whatever the fuck they are out.
It's the Truman Show. Oh, it's like a zoo. It's like
that's different. If it was like if knowing my life was a setup, that's different. But being a simulation is not like it's not a setup.
A simulation and a setup aren't much different to me.
Yes, they are, because a setup dictates what's going to happen. A simulation is the world. So it's almost like, World of Warcraft, where that's a simulation, but you have endless options and free will to do whatever you want within that system.
To a point, though, there's only so many,
But we still have technically free will. It's just within the system.
I know, but
a setup would be Truman Show. That I would, how differently I would live bananas. I mean, I would if I knew
everything.
I would legitimately fist fight strangers. I'd probably try to make out with
what I'm saying.
Everybody.
Smash a guitar. Who cares?
Yeah,
that you can still smash a guitar.
Yeah, do it. It's right behind you.
Yeah, smash your guitar, dude.
If I get $250 on Patreon, I'll do it.
Done.
You know what I would do if there was if it was a simulation? I would try to find other people that are looking to get out. You know what I mean? Just to like that underground kind of gang, like Matrix-y kind of thing, where there's got to be other people that know and try to leave it.
Yeah. Well, I think those are called like billionaires and the elite. I think those people are literally putting their penises into infant children because they feel like that unlocks the fucking simulation.
Dude, I'm watching the morning show, and there was a like kind of this monologue thing that Steve Carell had in it, but he was essentially saying that to summarize essentially was that the reason why everybody wants to have money and be rich is so that you can shield yourself from the horrors and of the world, you move out of the shitty neighborhoods and you don't see the bad crime, and you can kind of insulate yourself with just this safety and around you of being like, this is good, I'm here, I'm safe, none of that's real out there. But then obviously he's a morning anchor, so he's like, we get paid to go to the scene of these horrible things while we're rich and famous and we're trying to hide ourselves. Great show, highly recommend.
What? Yeah,
I kind of agree with that, but I don't know. I would more want the money just so I wouldn't be panicking. Like that's my whole motivation. It's like I would love as much money as humanly possible, but I can't see myself living like Chris Brown. Like even if I made $50 million a year, I don't think I could buy one of those like giant houses on the hill in Calabasas. I don't see that as how I would want to live.
I would do that too. Which actually is a great transition into the next question, which is, If you were given any one luxury item but couldn't sell it, what luxury item would you want?
But couldn't sell it?
But couldn't sell it.
Do I have to pay maintenance on it?
No, let's say no. Let's say so it's a luxury item that technically takes care of itself for the rest of your life.
Then a G6 plane.
Yeah.
For sure.
A plane?
A private jet to get around.
Where would you put it?
I'm not paying for it. That's on you, buddy. You said you're paying for the maintenance.
That's
I'm
a
not
good.
paying for shit.
That's a good call. Is so you don't have to pay for the plane. You don't have to pay for the fuel, but you do have to pay to fucking house it.
Oh, it's way so expensive to take care of a plane. You'd have to have so much money. Same with any luxury item. Same with a yacht, a Ferrari, a Maserati. All these things. The upkeep on that, you got to spend like $10,000 a year on these fucking things.
Oh, on a yacht, it's way more than that.
Oh yeah, like yacht is even more.
I would get like a really nice car, I think, because you could just keep that in a garage or something.
What is I'd get like a '68 Shelby Cobra or something like that. Like just.
But you're paying to maintain it, and now those cars are even more expensive.
So the maintenance is totally fine. The yacht totally fine. The plane you never have to pay for a repair. However, you would have to find a place to house it.
Oh, then I'll still take the plane.
You think you can make the money back? Probably just charging people for flights.
Yeah, dude, charter it or fucking just it's not that expensive to have a
that's a good idea.
To have a spot on a tarmac, you know what I mean? There's plenty of places.
Is that something you've looked into? Because you said it with so much confidence and I don't believe you.
Actually, if you go to flightdeck.com,
there's a ton of these tiny little airports that you can do.
Tarmac site on the interwebs.
My uncle used to have a plane. He used to have one right in fucking Long Island, dude. He just would always take it up. He said you get right to Central Park, 15 minutes. Isn't that fucking crazy from out in Suffolk County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he land it in Central Park?
No, you just do flood. He said that there was no restrictions. All this was pre 9/11. So like he was like, he can go in at night and go like low down on the water, like you know what I mean? Like
he's just weaving in and out of buildings.
Yeah,
he's shit faced on a Saturday.
He's going under bridges.
Pre 9/11 was the shit, dude. I was getting blown on the Lower East Side.
He's going like this through the Twin Towers.
Boy, no one could ever do this.
Okay. Next question. If you were the next Pied Piper, what animal would you want to be able to compel to follow you? What animal would you want to convince to follow you?
Is that what the Pied Piper? The Pied Piper he got
of Ireland.
He got animals to follow him. I thought he was
snakes.
I thought he was like a cult
Didn't he drive the snakes out of Ireland?
He drove the snakes out of Ireland.
Oh, and that's why so why did they call R. Kelly the Pied Piper?
Because he drove all these 15-year-old girls out of their homes.
Snake.
Their homes in Long Island.
Yeah. Homes in Long Island. I don't know. I'd probably do like monkeys.
Pied Piper is he plays that flute. That's from Silicon Valley.
Yeah. He plays a pipe.
Pan flute, maybe. Or maybe a pipe.
No, pan flute's the skinny one that's like has all the holes here.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
I would probably do alligators would be cool to have follow you around. That'd be awesome.
Well, and then you can put them on people, right? You can sick them on people.
Yeah, why not? What I would do, I would get alligators and I would stand on the alligators, one left foot on one, right foot on one, and then just
Okay, Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah.
Is that what he does?
It's on the cover of the movie, you dummy.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
it's 100% where you got it from.
What's the question again? This is like that thing. This is like that thing. Brendan does that all the time too. He replaces pop culture moments with his memory of his existence.
Name another time.
Oh,
I
am
time.
So happy you
Name
asked.
3 more times.
No. One
I
more
will.
time.
I'll add another time.
Yeah,
we
were at 4th Street, and I was talking about. Let's say the movie was like Honey Boy or something, and I go, "Oh my God, you gotta watch it, dude! This, there's Shia LaBeouf, and then this other guy is in it. You would know him,
dude. That was a fucking guess. I'm telling you,
it
was a guess.
He goes. Who is he? Like Austin Hedges? And I go, yeah, that's him.
It was a fucking guess.
He goes, no, you said you just guessed both names, and that you had made up a name,
dude.
What
Brendan,
are the odds
I heard the name. I heard the name a couple days before.
Yes, you did. You've heard the name together. It's how your brain put it together. You, of course, aren't giving yourself any credit that you have any subconscious information to offer yourself.
No,
but you did. You heard it once and you put it together.
I am.
You didn't make up the name Austin Hedges.
I didn't
on the
make
spot.
up the name, but I heard it. And I've never used that guy's name before in my life. I don't even know who the actor is.
Yes,
but
you do.
I've heard.
Yeah,
no,
you
I
know
don't.
exactly who he is.
You knew exactly who he was. You named
I can't
who
think
he
of him
was in the
now.
movie.
Dude, Feeney, this one time I was hanging out with Brendan at the comic strip, right? And he told me the story about how him and this kid he used to work with found their boss dead, and they brought him around to this party for like a full weekend.
That was good. You sat on that, dude. You were sitting on that.
I'm mad.
That
So
was fun.
what would be your animal, you think?
It's got to be a big cat situation, right? And that's probably just because I watched Tiger King, but like having those animals love you unconditionally and being able to, use
Sick them on people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What about like apes?
Apes would be cool. Like a gorilla. Just a bunch of gorillas following
like
you
Planet
around.
of the Apes type shit.
Yeah,
one
you would look like
chimp,
D12.
Oh yeah, what is this, the Chicago Bears? Who's the new head coach? He's young.
Who's that, Elvis?
Oh, sorry, every NBA team.
That's funny.
Don't tell on us, guys, if you're paying for this.
So wait, Feeney, what was your question? I mean, what was your answer?
My question was, what was the original question?
Is if you could be the Pied Piper of any animal, what animal would you have follow you?
Eagles would be cool.
No,
kind of a death bird or something
bird
like
of
that.
Prey.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's the
Can
big
I pick
cat.
2 different animals?
Yeah, you could pick 6.
All right, well then I'll pick a bird of prey. Let's say it's like an eagle or something, bald eagle, big wingspan. And then a land creature would be something that could also go into the water if need be. I'm going with the chimp. Give me the chimp.
What about a hippo?
No, that's too big. They can't walk around me. They'll break all my door frames.
A fucking no. Yeah, but you could also have them just live in your parking garage.
How are they getting in the garage?
You let them in,
Yeah, they have a back door.
Okay.
I'm
not sold on it.
All right. Would you sign up to be a colonist of another planet if it meant you would never be able to return to Earth?
Yes.
No. Not even for a second would I consider it. I've seen
Really?
all those movies. Every movie that I've seen, like the Martian, all those. First of all, I mean, I'm assuming, do we then get like uploaded with every science information possible, and we would?
I guess. I'm just picturing like they built another city on a planet, and you go there. Like you're not working there. You just live there now.
Do I get to bring my son and leave Nicole?
Yeah, you should be able to have
another
a family.
planet. yeah. Nicole, I'm like, oh, sweetie, I thought we were on the same ship.
That's so funny. This is your stop. You throw her right out the window.
My God, you really look like you're in space.
I probably would. I don't know.
Yo, Feeney, I just thought you were frozen. Like I was like, oh no, Feeney's frozen, but you were just super high and not opening your eyes.
You get me, Doug? No, I think that I would. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have the might, but I would say yes that I'd want to go because I have always wanted to go to space and to go to another planet. I hope to one day get rich enough to be able to where they like get that commercial space thing where you'll go and just kind of hang out in space for a few hours and then come back.
What's the cheapest you think that'll get during our lifetime? 30
I mean,
grand?
right now it's not that
30
bad.
grand.
Right now it's like a couple $100,000.
Right.
To go to space.
So,
It's 250.
Yeah, dude.
It's 250.
250,000?
Yeah.
That's less than a fucking house.
Well, how far up in space?
You go up into the atmosphere where it's zero gravity.
You go to the
around.
New Jersey of space.
Yeah.
It's like barely out of the
space trash.
There's just a Burger King floating by.
Yeah. And it's still no one's going in it.
I go out there and I come back. They didn't have Sprite.
Yeah.
17.
You'll never believe what they. Yeah.
And they gave me. Yeah, they gave me.
Here comes the laugh line.
I mean, that's the next level.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Some turkey and some mistletoe.
All right. So I think we have time for one more question.
All right.
Yay.
If you were a 90s cartoon evil villain, where would your base be? and what would it look like? What would it have inside, etc.? What would your henchmen wear as uniforms? Where would it be? What would it look like? And what would your henchmen wear?
I know what mine would be. I would do one of those underwater cities at like the giant glass orb where it's like it just looks like you're in an aquarium at all times, super thick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that answer.
Pressurized to where it's not going to be any pressure on me. And breathing normal oxygen. Not everyone needs the things, but a fucking really thick, like underground. So it looks menacing. And in order to get to it, you got to dive deep, deep down.
It's inside of a giant fish.
No, not that.
Yo, that would be cool is if your city was inside a motorized whale, so everybody just thought it was a huge whale.
Yeah, and then Asians just kill it to death immediately.
Well, don't fucking float near China, dummy. Stay off the coast of Cali.
Oh, man, that is such a good answer. What would your henchmen wear?
Oh, yeah.
They would wear those, like...
fucking sailor suits.
They would definitely be like
that's the Borat like swimsuit thing.
I'm picturing more like space wear, like a white a long white like onesie with like a little stripe going across this way, maybe like a blue or something, but to look a little menacing.
That would be
and
cool.
Then boots, white boots, space boots.
Yeah, and they have a little thing right here where if they need to go in the water, they go boop, and it goes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool,
yeah.
dude.
God damn it. I'm really pissed that one's taken.
Yeah, me too.
I was so excited to go first. I almost threw this at my screen to go first.
I want to cut that whole part out and just say I would pick Underwater City with the bubble. I would probably pick in a mountain. I would hollow out a mountain, and also much underground. Probably involves some sort of
magma.
Why not volcano? If not,
volcano is good.
Maybe a volcano, something like that. I would, pretty much exactly what Dr. Evil has.
Dr. Evil had his own body floating through space.
No, that was the big boy. In many ways, sir, the big boy never left.
Huh?
Oh, and then they did the stupid space one. That's right. I forgot he did the. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
I was thinking about a space thing. That would be pretty cool, except it would be a pain in the ass to get back down to Earth to like wreak havoc on your enemies.
Imagine every time you come in, you just have to do that thing where it catches on fire, re-entering the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Your nose bleeds every time. Hang on, my guys. Everybody would dress. Everyone would dress like Guile. The guys would dress like Guile from Street Fighter. Really ripped, skin tight shirt tucked into camo pants, tucked into boots, and all the women would dress like Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah,
like that.
I would have my place would be on top of a Asian, like a Chinese mountain, and it would be a big Chinese.
But those are
kind
slanted.
The mountains aren't, so. So no, it would be on a big mountain, and the house that I live in, the big mansion, would be one of those like Asian kind of Chinese
Tokyo
type houses
Kyoto.
with like the curvy. Yeah.
I love how Brendan has a tough time climbing the steps at the mall, and he thinks he's going to climb the steps to the highest Chinese mountain.
You think as the leader, the evil leader of a giant organization that's put on a mountain, I wouldn't have my own car to go up it.
It wouldn't
you think
be
I'm
a
like,
car.
all right,
no,
boys, we're all equal.
you would have your own personal Chinaman to throw you on his shoulders, and he'd scale the mountain.
I think that he would make them take a lazy boy with 4 handles shoved into it so that they could carry his lazy boy recliner up the mountain.
I'm just like this.
It's just got chips in it and pretzels.
The chips are falling on the Chinese guys as they're carrying him up.
And all my henchmen would be wearing, traditional Chinese garb.
No, Japanese. This is Japanese.
Japanese garb. Typical Japanese garb.
Wow, way to be like.
So
they would all look like
Japanese.
You racist.
They would all look like Sub-Zero from
cool.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
So COVID would still be running rampant.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, especially there.
That's what would take me out.
In Japan?
Would you have your very own wet market?
Yeah, that would be the first thing on the menu would be bat.
Yeah.
At my cafeteria. That and
soaking wet bat.
White Castle.
Well, that was our episode, everybody. Fun times. If you enjoyed the show, thank you so much for signing up to our Patreon. And if you enjoyed it, maybe tell some other people. We have so much episodes cooking. There is no end in sight for this COVID-19.
No,
so
certainly not. And honestly, we're excited. We've come up with ideas that are going to work really well when we're able to be in the same functional room together. That'll be great. Yeah. Like there's some stuff we're going to do that we need to be able to touch lips.
I'm going to smash the guitar on Brendan's head for $250.
On his head?
Well, that wasn't what was said.
That was part of it.
That's what we said. $250 on Patreon. I'll smash the guitar over your head.
Oh,
over
but
your head, here's how, style.
Yes. Is that the comic?
No, he's
we have to recreate.
We have to recreate that scene.
For $250, we'll recreate that viral video. Is like, you guys saw it? No.
So for 100 patrons, we've already put this on our Patreon page. So we have all this different content coming out. So we're doing Ask Me Anything stuff. Obviously, you guys are tossing suggestions for scenarios. Our top tier gets preferential treatment for that. You guys got a big, thick cut of dick, and everybody else, you guys got dicks as well. You'll read the description. You understand what I'm saying. But if we get 100 patrons, we're gonna all somehow act out the breakup scene from Brokeback Mountain. It's one of our favorite movies to collectively masturbate to. So that was only fitting for that to be our first thing. And definitely, I think 100 patrons, 500 maybe. Should 500 patrons be the thing where Feeney breaks his guitar over Sagalow's head?
I mean, I'll do it for as little as 50. It depends. It's all what Brendan will do.
But I think 500 at that point, it would be fine. We'd be making enough financially per month to justify that decision.
The hospital bills.
Yeah, the hospital bills and the.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
No, you got it.
You'll be fine. You'll be
for
fine.
The show. Yeah, and we're acting out that famous scene, and it's just for our Patreon people. So, guys, thank you so much for your support. Again, this is our community. You guys are throwing us suggestions. You're commenting all over the place. We've filmed a ton of these episodes and recorded, kind of in advance of any kind of activity on our Patreon. So right after this one, it's going to launch on Wednesday. We're going to be like fully acclimated, fully in the swing of things, and we're going to start taking your suggestions and really getting this thing going. Right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
Appreciate
Tell your friends.
All right. Yeah. Tell your friends, $5, whatever. Thanks for signing up. Eat our ass.